Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, The Practical Data Scientist. Today I'm going to discuss about one of the most commonly asked question, which is which is the best data science course to enroll. Since I'm a new YouTuber with just 5 videos old, I thought I'll take help from the celebrities you see on my screen. Now that I have received your attention through that deepfake video, let me explain about some of the data science courses that are available. So for an offline course, currently in India, the starting price range of data science courses varies somewhere between 15 to 20K, and some of the premier institutes even charge up to 6 to 8 lakhs. And with COVID crisis taking over, there have been a lot of people handling webinars and online data science courses for which they charge somewhere around 6,000 till 20,000 rupees. And I've seen a lot of people enrolling for these courses and also reach out to me asking like which is the best one to enroll. For them, I would like to expose two facts. The first fact is that all these courses, irrespective of the amount that you pay or the institute where you learn, 80% of the curriculum that they cover as part of the data science training is the same. And I myself has gone as trainer for three different institutes, and in all institutes like more than 80% of the topics that they cover is the same. And the even harder fact is that all of these materials along with much more information is available over internet for free. My personal suggestion for someone who is entering into the field of data analytics would be to learn by themselves. I have seen a lot of people who are self-taught data scientists and they excel, in the field very much. And a lot of Kaggle experts or the grandmasters that you see are people who learned things by themselves. And even if you take mine as an example, like I have never spent a penny for any of the data science courses so far. Like, I learn by myself through the portals. The only challenge that you might face is getting through the right source or getting through the right path to the completion, and I will guide you through those steps in the later slides. And to add on, this is a quote by Asim Qureshi. So he says, like, a computer science grad who looks up down upon someone who's self-taught is like an MBA graduate who is looking down upon a successful entrepreneur. So before actually going into the curriculum, I want to set out what are the different career paths that are available in data science, and to understand about those paths, you need to understand the data science life cycle. So any data science life cycle can be broken down into these 7 stages. So the first one is the business problem. And to make it more clear, I have taken a example. So, say for example, you are a business owner running a business, and you want to provide customized offer to the customers. So now that becomes your business problem, right? So first step of any data science life cycle project is to identify the business problem. So once you do that, you start with the data collection, right? So either you have the databases where the purchase history of the customer, the order history, like how much came in, the inventory details, and if you need any additional data, you send out surveys, get the customer feedbacks, how they feel and all that. Then the third step is the data preparation step, where you organize the data in such a way that it makes sense. Say, for example, you are a business owner running into business in different territories with different dollar rates or currency rates. Then all of them should be mapped to the same level so you can compare them. Or a customer is making two bills on the same day, they should be clubbed into one so that you will have the actual information. So all this happens in the data preparation stage. So the next step is the exploratory data analysis, where you analyze the data that you have. Say, for example, how much a customer is buying, which is the least sold item, which is selling the most. So all that analysis you perform in the EDA step. Then you have modeling. That's where the actual data model development happens. So you identify whether the problem that you have is a classification problem or a regression problem, then whether you are going to use a supervised method or unsupervised method for training and different algorithms. Then you have model evaluation, where you evaluate the model that you create based on the production data and see how it is performing. So for each problem, you have different set of metrics. So you measure the metrics and see which is the better model. Then finally, you have the model deployment, where you deploy the model that you have developed. Then the process continues. Again, the model which is deployed to the production gets evaluated. Then you do retraining. Then you perform all the steps. Now let's see what are the different job paths associated with this life cycle. So the first path that we are going to see is a data engineer path. So this person is responsible for the data collection and preparation stage. He is the one who is going to read all the databases, get in the data, transform them. So he should be well aware of the ETL processes, different databases, both structured and non-structured, like SQL or MongoDB, NoSQL, anything like any database that is being the backend for the data source, you should be aware of it. So the next job path is the data analyst. So this is like where a new joiner should focus on, or a beginner should focus on. So he performs the data analysis, and he also has a major responsibility on data preparation. Then his core job is to perform EDA, and you should have a good knowledge on statistics. You should know some language like R, Python, or data visualization tools like Tableau, Matplotlib, so that you can bring out the information from the data that he has. And the next career path is the machine learning engineer. So he is the person who is going to build out the model, measure its accuracy, deploy the model, and all that. So his area of expertise should be like AI frameworks like Keras, TensorFlow, or Scikit-learn, H2O. So there are multiple frameworks, and also the deployment frameworks we have separately, like Flask, Django, or sometimes it's deployed as a API service through Apache. So all that you should be aware of. So you might be wondering, like we saw data engineer, data analyst, and machine learning engineer, but the most aspirational role that many of us look into is a data scientist, right? So where does he fit in? He fits across the data science lifecycle. He should know everything from the start till the end, and you'll be guiding the other people in the data science team to achieve their goals. And here I have given what are the skills that are required for each of this career path. So you see, like data scientist almost has all these skills needed. And then you have the data engineer, where the focus is on the programming tools and data wrangling part. Then you have machine learning engineer, where the focus is more towards machine learning, calculus, linear algebra. And there's a data analyst, where his scope of work is here. So next we will break it down to technologies which enable them. So again, we had that 7 phases, right? So I'm breaking it into 4 stages here. So the first one is data storage. Next we have data analysis, then visualization, then model building. And now we'll see, like what are the tools that are required at each of this stage. So in data storage, it's going to be the databases, right? Either your MongoDB, NoSQL, or if you're using cloud, it could be your BigQuery for Google. Likewise for Azure or AWS, they are different. Then if you are using a big data platform, then you go for Hadoop or HBase, right? And for structured data for enterprise and all, they have still there are people who use SQL Server, Oracle databases. Then for data analysis, like the most commonly used tool in Python is like Pandas. Then you also have RStudio for R. Then if you're using big data, you have Apache Spark. Then there is SAS, which is one of the market leader in analytics space. Then we also have RapidMiner. For visualizing data, like we have Tableau, which is independent and one of the market leader there. For Google platform, we have Data Studio. We also have ClickSense. and for Python we have Matplotlib. So for building the model, there are different frameworks. Some of them are like TensorFlow, Thanos, S2O, PyTorch by Facebook. Then for Microsoft, we have CNTK. So there are different models, and these are only for representational purpose. This is not an exhaustive list. We have much more tools. Like just to give you a picture of how the technology stack is built for different phases, we have included this information. Now let us see who is required to enroll for courses first. Say you are working on a specific tool like Tableau or SAS, then you will be required to get a certification from Tableau. So when you are working on Tableau, you can say that I am Tableau certified, right? So when you work on a vendor tool like that, you can enroll for a data science course related to that specific tool. Or you're working for an AI services like AWS, Azure, or GCP. All of them provides their own AI services, right? So if you're going to work on any of them, then it makes sense for you to enroll for a course, a certification for Azure or GCP data engineer or whatever. Or you are already working on a project or you're employed for a client project in your company and where certification is necessary, then it makes sense for you to enroll for a data science course. So these three set of people can enroll for the course based on the tool or service that they are going to work on. But I am very sure that 95% of the people who are entering into the data science field are not going to fall into any of these three categories. So my suggestion is that for that 95% of the people, uh, enrolling into data science course is not at all necessary, and they have all information that they need over the internet for free. So here I have given a gist of the course plan, how you need to proceed for the data science career. So first you need to know basics of Python, and by basic Python I mean really basic Python. You don't have to know about Python is like is becoming omnipresent. Like there are a lot of different packages. People are using it for scripting. People are using it for building web applications, for building gaming. PyTest is used for test automation. Pygame is used for gaming. Then there is a package for reinforcement training. So Python is endless. There are so many applications, and when you begin with your data science journey, you don't have to know everything about Python. You just need to know basics of Python. Then you need to know about Pandas. So Pandas is the data analysis library in Python. So you need to know about it. Then you have to learn about Matplotlib, which is the most basic data visualization library available in Python. There are other libraries built over on it, like Seaborn and all, but Matplotlib is sufficient for you to start with. Then you need to know basic statistics. Again, by statistics, I'm not talking about calculus, integral calculus, and all that. I am talking about mean, median, mode, what is variance, what is covariance, what is R squared value. So basic statistics. Then you need to know about exploratory data analysis. And actually, like Pandas and exploratory data analysis kind of mutually inclusive, but I have given it separately because when you begin with Pandas, you don't have to go so deep into it so that you get lost. You can start up with basic Pandas, then move over to Matplotlib statistics, and then cover it. When you come to exploratory data analysis, you will feel much more comfortable, and you'll start applying Pandas for exploratory data analysis. Then is where when you start with your machine learning algorithm. So when I say machine learning algorithm, it includes all supervised, non-supervised algorithms of all types, regression, both regression and classification. Then NLP is one of the most rapidly evolving field now. So you can have a start focusing on text analytics. Then finally into deep learning. So deep learning itself is a subset of machine learning, but it's a huge topic by itself. So once you feel comfortable with all other topics, you can get into deep learning where you learn about image processing and audio processing, etc. and this is a minimal viable plan. In software terminology, we always look for a MVP, right? A minimal viable product. Like that, for data science, the points here until machine learning algorithm, right? You can even ignore text analytics and deep learning. The first six items that you see on the screen, they are your minimal viable plan for your data science career. So once you feel comfortable with these six topics, you should be good to go, and you will have a very good picture of where you want to focus. By the time you gain, comfortable knowledge over these six topics, you yourself will get a clear picture on where you want to proceed. Now that we know like what is the course plan that is needed, let me talk about some of the challenges that beginners face in data science. So these are the problems which I faced when I started my data science journey, and also the most frequently asked queries from people who are beginning their journey. So I thought I'll clarify them, so that everyone would be benefited. So the first thing that people ask me about as a challenge for the online training is like they will not be able to resolve their queries like a one-on-one connect. So to avoid that, I'm gonna offer monthly webinars where people can join and resolve their queries. So I'll keep uploading videos over the month, and at the end of the month there will be a webinar where participants can ask their queries and get them resolved. And for this to happen effectively, please subscribe to my channel so that you get notified whenever a webinar happens. And also you can connect with me through my LinkedIn URL that is given in the description of this video, or you can also join the Telegram channel, which is again given in the description of the video. So I'll keep posting whenever I host a webinar, and anybody can join the webinar and have their queries resolved. The next challenge people ask is like data science is a very multidisciplinary field, so there is so much that I get lost, on the way. So what I'm going to do is like the videos that I'm gonna upload in my channel are going to be the one of the easiest and fastest way to learn data science, which is going to cover only the essential topics. Like if I'm going to have a video for pandas, I'm not going to cover everything about pandas, but I'm only going to cover what would be needed to, for a data scientist as a basic, right? So I'm not if pandas has to be explained in depth, that itself will take months to complete. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do it in the most easiest and fastest way that you can learn. A third one is like people ask, coding becomes difficult during online training. So what I'm going to do, any code that I use as part of the training or the YouTube videos that I upload, everything is uploaded to the Google Drive, and the link for requesting access to that Google Drive is given in the description of the video. So you can request for access and you will have access to all the codes that I use in the training. So the next thing people ask is like, how do I follow material or take notes? So usually in a course, like you get course materials, right, which you can refer back after the course is even completed. So here, what I'm going to do, all the materials that I'm going to cover is going to be in the Jupyter Notebook format, uploaded to the Colab. So you will be able to see all the running commentary for each code snippet that is getting covered. So you don't have to maintain a separate notes or slides with you. Everything will be given like a running commentary within the notebook itself. So why wait? Let's get started. So first step, subscribe to my channel so that we are connected and you get notified about all the videos that gets released. Then request access to the code repository, which is available below this video's description, and also will be given in all the videos that I upload. And also let's stay connected through my LinkedIn profile, which is again given in the description of the video. And you can also press the bell icon when you subscribe to the channel, so that whenever a new video gets uploaded, you will get a notification and you don't miss it. And as I told you earlier, like even the webinar notifications will be given as a post through uh, YouTube or with my LinkedIn profile. So please stay connected so that you will get the notifications. So that's all for today. Wishing you a great career as a data scientist, and we'll stay connected for more videos. Thank you.